Hello! Who doesn't love a potato head? When I was younger, there was only one type of potato head. You just had Mr. Potato Head. But now there's a whole bunch of them you can get. Of course, there's Mrs. Potato Head, and then you can get Darth Vader Potato Head, Stormtrooper, Han Solo Potato Heads for all the Star Wars fans. You can get a Pirate Potato Head. You can even get a Rockstar Potato Head. And now, really, really exciting, you can get life-size versions of potato heads. I used to like to do things like put feet where his hat should be, or maybe put arms where his eyes should be. Or if you had a few of them, you can make a potato head that was just all arms, absolutely everywhere. It just looks really silly. Can you imagine what it'd be like if you could swap out limbs for ears or eyes for feet in real life? Which one would you prefer? You know, to have arms where your eyes should be, or to have eyes where your arms should be? If you had arms where your eyes are, well, would that make you a snail? Don't snails feel their way around instead of seeing? All of that is loads better than having your nose where your arms would be, or your tongue where your feet should be. You'd spend all day smelling your armpits and tasting whatever it is that you were walking on. Yuck. If you could only be one body part, what would it be? You know, you've got to pick between arms and legs and eyes and nose and ears and mouth, but you can only have one. And they'd be all over your body. Which one would you choose? Which one would you definitely not want to have? What if you had to choose to be one of these body parts? Which one would you want to be? You know, would you prefer to be an arm, or would you prefer to be an ear? Would you prefer to be an eye, or would you prefer to be a nose? I think that's a nose. I can tell that you think I'm losing it. I can see it in your eyes that you're looking at me and wondering to yourself, you know, what on earth is he going on about? Why would I want to be one body part instead of another? We need all of these things to make our bodies work. We can't say that one is more important or is better than the other. We need eyes so that we can see, and we need ears so that we can hear. We need legs so that we can move, and we need arms so we can wave and hug, and so we can play Xbox. Perhaps you have a body part that doesn't work quite how it should, or you know someone who can't see or hear or walk. I'm amazed at how people overcome these obstacles that makes life that more difficult. I'm so thankful that I can see and that I can hear, that I can walk and I can run. I can play golf and football and ride my bike, and I can do all these things because all of the various parts of my body work together. Well, it doesn't always quite work like that, you know, when I'm trying to play golf, but I'm sure you get my point anyway. Now, a long time ago, way before Star Wars was set, a guy called Paul wrote a letter to a bunch of Jesus followers in a place called Corinth. They were arguing about, you know, who was the best and who was the most important. Do you ever have arguments like that with your friends or with your brothers and sisters? Let me read to you what Paul said to them all those years ago. The human body has many parts, but the many parts make up one whole body. So it is with the body of Christ. If the foot says, I'm not part of the body because I'm not a hand, that does not make it any less part of the body. And if the ear says, I'm not part of the body because I'm not an eye, would that make it any less a part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, how would you hear? If your whole body were an ear, how would you smell anything? But our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where he wants it. How strange a body would be if it had only one part. Yes, there are many parts, but only one body. The eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. And the head can't say to the feet, I don't need you. Now, I think there are two important messages for us in Paul's words here. And I think if he had a potato head, he would have used that to illustrate his point too. Firstly, we're all different, and that's a good thing. Can you imagine how boring it would be if we all looked the same? If we all had the same name? If we were all good at the same things? You are unique. There is no one quite like you. Now, there are 7 billion people on this planet, and not one of them is the same as you. Now, I'm a twin. I'm told that my twin brother looks like me. I don't see it because I can tell us apart. I never get myself confused with my brother Tim. You know, somebody actually once asked me if I ever got myself mixed up. You know, they couldn't tell the difference, and they thought that we wouldn't be able to tell the difference either. Anyway, even if we do look similar, we're not the same. You are unique. You are one of a kind. You're one in a million. Actually, you're 1 in 7 billion. The second thing that I think Paul is trying to tell us is that we all need each other. That's what family, that's what community, that's what church is all about. Just like a football team that needs players in different positions on the pitch. You know, you'd never win a game if everyone was a striker or a defender, or if you had 11 goalkeepers. Now, Paul describes the church as a body. We are part of that body. We all have our part to play. And it can be so easy to want to be like someone else, to look like they do, or be able to do the things that they do. Now, I get that, but you're you. You are unique, and you have your part to play. So don't try to be a hand if you're a foot, or an ear if you're a nose. Be you. Be the best you that only you can be. And as you be the best you, the best version of yourself, you'll start to discover how you can make the most of the way God has made you to be part of his body. When we do this together, when we do life together, you know, bring in all the things that makes us, when we pull all of that together, something amazing happens. As a community, you know, a family, as a church, we're able to achieve far more than we ever could on our own. We're able to have a greater positive impact on the world around us. We're able to discover meaning and purpose, to find where we truly belong. So be you. Be the best you that only you can be.